capital. Woo! We hope you enjoy tonight's program, which is filled with lots of storytelling, music, joy, connections, and of course, joy. I want to take a minute to answer that question, what brings me joy? So many things bring me joy. But walking on the beach with my dog, being in community, so many things. I'm like, this is a really good issue to have. Well, not an issue, but it's a good thing to have, right? So I'm excited to be here, and I hope you enjoy yourself throughout the evening. And I'm going to pass it to Sean Palmer. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosie. Good evening, everybody. My name is Chapong, and we're going to open with some music. Say a few words for her.
Hi. Good evening. I mean, doesn't everybody want to have a musician like at the ready, right, on your team, opening up events? I'm Zahirah. I use the she, her pronouns. I'm the director of Neighborhood Birth Center. And what brings me joy is cuddling with my babies. I have an 11-year-old who's turning 12 on Saturday, so I'm in a little bit of a denial because I just gave birth a few weeks ago. And then she's going to turn 12, and I have a 7-year-old. So cuddling with babies and being in community, sharing birth stories, reaching back to our ancestral stories and forward to those who have yet to come, and in doing so, healing our lineage. So that brings me joy to be with you. We are working, how many folks are familiar with Neighborhood Birth Center, have heard? So for some, this is the first time you're hearing that we are working to open a freestanding birthing center here in Roxbury. That means a birth center is a home-like facility, right? Style kind of less, not like a hospital or a community health center, but a home-like facility that's staffed by midwives. Where are my midwives at? Woo-hoo! That provides full spectrum midwifery care. So you can come to a birthing center, imagine like a 4-bedroom house, but every bedroom has an ensuite bathroom and a luxurious soaking tub and a queen-size bed, and you go there for all of your prenatal care, and you go there when you're in labor, and you leave out of there with your newborn baby, and that midwife comes to your home the next day, right? So we are trying to bring midwifery back into the community, because the midwives at one point caught all the babies right here, right? And we know that midwives and birth centers provide better experiences, better outcomes, and there's a whole bunch of cost savings to the healthcare system. And so we know that returning midwifery to the community is a direct response to the crisis of maternal health and the ways that that crisis bears down inequitably in the Black community. And so we've been at it for a long time. I told Dr. Zahirah Nur Truth today, because this was her idea, and I said, you really set me up. This is a big project, Dr. Rorie, but you're going to get your birth center, I promise. And so we've been at it for a while. We have property here in Roxbury. Our team is here to talk more about it. But you'll hear more from us, and you can sign up to join our newsletter and follow us on social media. But join the movement to return midwifery to the community and to open the city's first birth center. So thank you.
I'd like to invite Joanna to say a few words about the event.
Good evening, everybody. Great to see you. So, tonight we are going to move through some feelings, and we're going to be all up in our feelings tonight. And so I want to just acknowledge who's in the room. How many have actually given birth? Okay. All right. And okay, so most, just about everybody in the room has given birth. Who has not given birth? All right. So I want to acknowledge that those who have chosen to be parents are definitely going to experience some feelings that are going to be emotional, that are going to be body in sensation. And those of us who have not given birth feel the same thing. Okay? Huh? I'm sorry.
See the birth. Witness.
Okay. Yeah. Who's witnessed the birth? Who's seen one? Okay. All right. Okay. In a movie. Okay. So I really didn't want to just sort of contain what we're going to be doing here tonight, and we hold this as you are on sacred ground, you are in safe space. This is sacred space, and if anybody is having anything going on, and you need to leave or you need to be surrounded, just please, give me a little wiggle, and I'll come sit with you. Okay?
Thank you. Dr. Zahirah Rorie, our elder midwife, visionary, inspiration for the Neighborhood Birth Center. I'm Shapong, I'm a musician, and I just want to say briefly we're going to be doing some musical storytelling with you, and then we're going to be doing some art together and some music making together. So really glad that you are all here with us. I'm really honored to be joined by all of you in the room and our storytellers and presenters today. We've got amazing artists here, Nur Truth, and poet and activist who's here to share a story with us. We've got Dr. Zahirah Nur Truth, our midwife, leader and visionary, and we've got Rorie Fraser, Lamarche giveaway, who is our lead artist on an incredible textile project that you are all going to contribute to that will one day bring love and joy and inspiration to families coming to the birth center in the future. So you guys are all going to be part of making a beautiful work of art that's going to hang in the birth center when it opens. So thank you all for being here, and give yourselves a round of applause. This next piece of music is to invite you to reflect on what brings you joy. You've been asked that question already when you came in. Take a couple more minutes to think about what brings you joy. Thank you. So I invite you to turn to a neighbor who you don't know yet and share something that brings you joy. Just take 1 minute to chat with each other. Introduce yourselves.
mama's child. Let's bring it on back.
It does not bring me pleasure to interrupt your beautiful conversation, so we do want to bring you back. We do want to bring you back. Thank you for sharing with each other. Thank you for connecting with each other. Give yourselves a round of applause. Yeah. Beautiful. And please consider that just the beginning of the conversation with whoever you were talking to. Obviously, you could keep a lot more connections to be made together. But we're gonna move on to the next part of the program. I'm inviting Zahirah Nur Truth to join us here and share her story.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Zahirah Nur Truth, and you're going to learn a lot about me this evening. A very intimate story that some of us in this space have done in a lot of different ways. And so I'm going to get started now. You know, it's wild. Sometimes I look at my sons. I have a teenager now and a young adult, and I think, how did we get here? Actually, how did I get here? Because birth, it is beautiful. It is a process. It is messy. It is powerful, and it keeps unfolding even after they're born. Have you ever met somebody that says their child is 52 months old? That's kind of like what it is. So I want to tell you a little bit about my first pregnancy. Well, what had happened was, I know it sounds crazy, but actually 20 years ago Monday, I gave birth to a beautiful baby boy with a head full of hair via C-section. Okay? And now don't get me wrong, however they get here, it is beautiful, right? Either C-section, surrogate, IVF, all of it is birth. But for me, I had a plan. It was a whole printed plan. And when I got to the hospital, they threw it out the window, y'all, okay? They didn't listen to me, they pushed interventions, and they low-key tried to scare me. And I remember thinking, no, I'm never doing that again. A C-section, that is, because clearly I did birth twice. So they would say this thing, you ever heard this thing, once a C-section, always a C-section? That's like an old school thing. It's not necessarily true, but it could be true for some people. You gotta find out what your situation is, right? And take care of your body. But once I knew I could be a VBAC, a vaginal birth, that's a cesarean, I just love seeing that word, like it's like powerful, I'm a VBAC. And there was no stopping me. And so in order to get that done, I had to find a midwife. So this was 20 years ago, so I could just go on Google. It wasn't really like that. You had to ask somebody to know somebody. It was kind of like buying a house, kind of like going to an underground party. And I'm serious. And then I found a midwife that was associated with the birthing center, and she happened to do home births. And I was not living here at the time. I was in Hyattsville, Maryland. Shout out to the DMV. And I told everybody that would listen, I'm having a home birth. And they said, you're crazy. I had the sweetest woman who was my doula. She's an ancestor now. She was an adoptive mama. And I also had my best friend present. And she was kind of like my big sister, best friend. And I had this girl that lived down the hall from me. And I say that because we're not friends anymore, but she was there for the birth, okay? And it's not a bad thing, you know, I moved, I live in Boston now. And I had my plan, okay? That's most important. So, Labor Day, my doula used to always say, baby, that's why there's a holiday named after it. And so, at a home birth, there's no epidural, okay? Whatever you feel everything 100%. I took a natural birthing class, I thought I knew everything. And I ordered all my little home birth stuff on this little website. And I had my playlist ready, Earth, Wind, and Fire, okay? And when I started labor, I was doing laundry, and the contractions kicked in. I never felt contractions before, let me be clear, okay? And they said, lay your ass down now. I was on top of the dirty laundry laying down, y'all, okay? And I was breathing through it, laughing, crying a little bit because that shit hurt. And so I was in a little apartment. I moved, so everybody came through, and I moved from my birthing hall to the birthing pool, and They worked so hard to get that birthing pool filled up, and I was only in there for 2 seconds, okay? Everybody was big mad. I moved to the tub, I went back to my bed, and that's kind of where I stayed, and the contractions got closer and deeper, and I let out a battle cry. Remember, this is an apartment building. I woke up everybody, okay? My neighbor across the hall was this sweet Nigerian man, and he said, I knew you had a baby. Clearly. And he gave me a hug, and it was just a sweet moment. Because you know what? Birth is real, it's not quiet, right? Who labors quietly? I don't know, it wasn't me. And it's messy, and birth is like. So, me going through that process, having that baby at home was very transformative for me. When that boy arrived, he was almost 9 pounds, okay? And it reminded me that anything is possible. And I thought I was strong because I was. I knew that I was already the mama that I needed to be. And even when I was scared, even when I was tired. But when I was pregnant with my first son, I was worried. I was still figuring out life. I had no idea what I was doing. I was working as a paraprofessional for first grade. I was co-owning an art boutique. I was doing a lot. I was taking college classes, and I was tired. And then here comes the second one that I just told you about, and he was the one that reminded me, okay, you need to get your shit together, we gotta do a little bit more, and he was my diligence baby, so that's how he got the name Diligent, okay? Did you like that? And even after he was born, y'all, this is the transformation part, I drug his little big butt because he looked like a little tiny sumo wrestler, and he was bald-headed, he did not have a head full of hair. Unlike his brother, and I brought him to biology class with me, in tow in the car seat, doing labs, okay, and my professor was a cool dude, and he just held him for me, and I got shit done. So, we know that birthing is the process. It's also so motherhood. As I like to say, it's hood, the realest hood I know, and it's so life. Everything I try to do it with love for my children, for my art, for my community, and through healing and transformation. And it's all because of birthing those 2 big head boys that I have now, bringing them into the world, that I'm able to stand before you and tell you my story. And to any mama in this space, I want you to know that your story also matters too. That your way is the right way, no matter what people tell you. That you too are also powerful, that you are also resilient, and that we all see you in this moment. That's it, y'all.
Here, another round of applause for sharing that beautiful story. Thank you for your time. I'm gonna invite Joanna to come back up.
Over the next few minutes of music, we invite you to reflect on your own birth, the birth of someone you love. A slow journey from single cell zygote to embryo, fetus, all inside the parent's womb. womb, which was a source of nourishment, oxygen, shelter, while the world outside changed seasons 2, 3 times. Labor, the journey from inside to outside. The labor and the delivery. Whether this baby entered the outside world through birth canal or through a most intentional human-crafted portal on the abdomen. It was a process that baby and parent collaborated on. And most likely, some other people were present. What are you grateful for? What do you wish for you and your mother in the birthing process? What do you wish for new humans being birthed in the future? I'm a midwife. And what brings me joy are time spent just like this with parents. My journey to midwifery as a child, as I was growing up, I never planned to be a midwife. It wasn't until I was asked, what are you going to do now that you've graduated? I went to nursing school, and as I was getting ready to graduate, my academic advisor, and I was telling someone that I just met, Alexa Paris, this story, that my academic advisor said to me, so what are you going to do? And, you know, being transparent and truthful, what I said to her was, I was getting a degree in nursing, and I said to her, you know, maybe I would be running out trying to find a job as a nurse, but during my entire matriculation at Simmons College, I hadn't met a happy nurse. Okay? And so that concerned me. So she said to me, well, you know, you did so well in maternity nursing. Not so great in med-surg. Okay, in peds. But you did really well in maternity nursing. Why don't you consider being a midwife? And I said, a midwife? And she said, yeah, a midwife. She told me what a midwife was. And it went in, and the journey began. I wanted to just give you a few words on what is a midwife. And this comes from the Eloise Greenfield treasure, called The Women Who Caught the Babies, a story of African American midwives. Midwives have been in the world probably as long as there have been human babies on earth. I want to take you back only as far as the Africa of a few hundred years ago. That's when millions of Africans were forced from their homelands, brought to America and enslaved. Some of the enslaved were midwives. What are midwives? They are women, some men, who help to bring babies into the world. Midwives use the word catch to describe what they do. We say we catch babies as they are being born. What else do midwives do? Some of the important duties are to be sure that everything that will touch the baby is free of germs. To encourage mothers to give them advice, to be watchful and notice if something is going wrong. So we're the experts, the absolute experts in natural birth, natural labor, and able to recognize when there's an issue where intervention may be required. She didn't say all that, I'm just... So, to be watchful, we notice if something is going wrong. We place the newly born baby on their mother's chest to clean the baby, to wrap them, to begin breastfeeding, to write down the names, to whisper their names in their newborn's ears, to give them the weight, the date, and the time of the birth. And The APGAR score. Everybody wants to know what's my baby's APGAR score. Oh, what brings me joy? What brings me joy, like I said, is being here among you. And what gives me joy is providing care and love and respect to parents who want to begin that process, that journey through prenatal care, and want to begin the process leading up to parenthood. That gives me joy. I've been doing this now for about 40 years. I'll let you decide how old I am. Like I said, my best friend is here. She knows, but she'll keep it to herself. Okay. And yeah, I've been involved in the maternal child health movement all those years, and started with the Globe series on the death zones in Boston and what is causing the disparity between black and white moms and black and white babies, black and white parents. What's causing the disparity? Still answering that question, but we're closer. One of the strategies that works in decreasing the disparities is the midwifery model of care. It works, it has been tested, it has passed the test of time. Remember I said we've been here, midwives, since the beginning when humans began to occupy this planet. So, there you have it. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Thank you so much, Joanna, and we're going to welcome Zahirah back to lead us.
In this moment, everyone should have an index card and a pen to write with. I want you to take just a minute to yourself to reflect on some of the stories you heard, the meditation where you thought about your own birthing story, or any other way that you might have arrived here. And I want you to think about writing a love letter to yourself. I'm going to tell you exactly how we're going to execute it in just a moment. These are just some guidelines. So if you're reflecting on the stories you heard, you can think about writing a love letter to yourself, or those folks who walked through the door of the birthing center. What is it that you want to say to them? In addition to being a storyteller, I'm also a poet, so I'm going to turn you into a poet tonight with me. And we are going to do a simple 8-word poem. So to make that easy, I would like you to write 1 through 8 so that you can write a word next to it. So that'll get us started. Now that you have that, I really want you to think about the meaning of those 8 words that you want to choose. They should have emotions associated with them. Yeah. So you're writing 1 through 8 on your index card. That's to help guide us with the 8 words. You're reflecting on the stories that you've heard. You can either write a love letter to yourself through these 8 words, or you can write 8 words that you want the future folks who are coming through the birth center to know about. Is that helpful? Does that make sense? And so we'll take about 5 minutes to do that. And just so you know, there is no wrong 8 words for you to write down. Whatever you write that is from your heart and it makes sense. So once you have those 8 words written down, just give me a thumbs up, and I will give you a little bit more directions. Yes, my friend. I got you. Mhm. The 8 words are words that you reflect on regarding some of the stories that you've heard. It can be a love letter to yourself, so it's open-ended. It can be words that you want future folks who are walking through the door of the birth center to know about and see. It's a way for us to highlight joy together.
So the 8 words that we have, you want 8 words from us concerning what we have heard tonight?
Mhm. Or what comes from your heart around joy and birth. Is that helpful, my friend? I always say write them down as quick as you can, and then look at them. Y'all some deep poets. Can I see some thumbs up if you have your 8 words? It looks like almost everyone in the space has their 8 words. So now I'm going to ask you to look at those words and see if there's anything that you might want to change, if you want to move the order around so it has a good flow to it. Thumbs up if you've revised. Okay. I said thumbs up if you revised your 8 words. And is anyone feeling open to sharing the 8 words that they came up with? Share? Please tell me your name first, if you would. Jackie, it's nice to meet you.
I have 2 sons, which I adore. My first word is city. If I'm doing this right. I feel that y'all led to the end of the birth. That's one wonderful thing. Caring, soft, concerned, peaceful. Then I also felt rage because of letting it out, the pain and all that stuff. Calmness and sleepiness.
Oh, that's beautiful. So you told us your birth story through your 8 words. Thank you, Jackie. And I would like to invite 2 more people to share. My friend Leila put their your hand up. What's your name? Mm-hmm.
Birth, wellness, togetherness, family, working, dance, food, and giving.
Thank you. Anybody else want to share before we transition? Please, tell me your name.
Diana.
Hi, Diana.
And so I had my last child during COVID.
Special time.
In the room was a doula that was provided by the hospital that I only met. I told her twice before I gave birth. So my birth was very lonely. I felt loved, cared for. It was scary, overjoyed, and pure love, and also sadness.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
I also want to I have twin girls and I have 91 natural birth.
You had your twins naturally? That's beautiful.
When I had my second son, I went to Boston Lions, Boston Lions, what's the title?
Midwife. You had a midwife. That's beautiful. Thank you, everyone, for taking time to share your poems with me. And we're going to get ready to transition to our next beautiful activity.
Thank you, Zahirah. Thank you so much. Now it's time to do some more creative reflection. I hope you'll have some small conversations with people as we do this next round of activities. You may choose. Lamurchi, can I invite you to come up to say a few words about Lamurchi? So sorry, Lamurchi's sitting behind you. No, thank you. So we're going to do a little creative choose your own adventure. You get to choose to work with Lamurchi and make a beautiful textile collage with her that will be part of the Future Birth Center and hang in the Future Birth Center as a community quilt. Or you can come up and do a little jam session on joy with me up here. So your pick, music or fabric, and of course they're all wonderful and we're happy for you to do whatever you feel moved to do. And Lamurchi's going to come and explain a little bit about the opportunity with her. Thank you, Lamurchi.
This activity will help to contribute participants with the founding of this birthing center an opportunity to contribute to a community quilt where your voices are represented by the design that you make. We're going to participate by making a 10-inch strip. It's 10 by 4 inches, and then there is a 4 by 4 inch square. It's very simple, and I have been given 30 minutes. So I just want you to know, when you get to the table to choose your supplies, you'll do them quickly, and then you'll make your decisions on your fabric, and it's all going to be beautiful. I worked with women in the Mississippi Delta in March as part of a residency with the Mississippi Museum of Art and Southern Quilters and the Black Women's Feminine Code. And I also named it Love Letters. So, Love Letters to the Self. The quilt, as a community quilt that I did with 13 quilters, is over here, and you can look at it. So, don't worry about juxtapositions of colors and patterns. It's kind of like our lives and the way the complexities of how we live and what we do, and we make a whole out of it. So it's a whole cloth experience done in pieces that is called collage. And I invite you to come to this table or that table, get your supplies, and get to work. So thank you so much for this.